Hi guys, good morning. My husband still sleeps, so I'm going to be quiet. Yesterday I tested and there was not a very, there was still a, I'm sorry, let me get it all together. I'm still tired. It's 6:30 this morning. On the iProven brand, this one here, there was a very faint line that showed up after, like, I checked in a couple hours and there was a faint line on it. And I know you're not supposed to, like, go by that, so, but anyways, that showed up later. Now on the Walmart cheapie, faint line showed up right away and it's still there, so, and my husband saw it, so and so today I want to use the iProven and see what it says. Here's my test. This one seems to take a long time for some reason. See if it starts to run through now. If you can't hear me very well, my heat is on, so it's a little loud. I get really thirsty in the morning. So kind of a recap. I got pregnant the last 2 months, October and November, and I had a chemical pregnancy in both of them. I tested positive at 6-DPO in October, which is early, I know, but the doctor thinks that the embryo is trying to implant like in the tubes or outside of my uterus. And the one in November, I tested positive on the 11-DPO, which is normal, and then I had a chemical soon after that. So let me see if it's starting to run through. Okay. So anyways, I did get pregnant the last 2 months, and I also got pregnant in May and miscarried as well. And they have me on progesterone now, so this cycle is different because I'm on progesterone. In my mind, I think I should have a positive because I've had positive the last 2 months. So I have had faint positives. I don't know if progesterone will do that. I don't think so, because obviously it has to be the HCG that it detects. So yeah, I guess these faint lines are just making me nervous. I just want to know either way, and that way I could just start over again next cycle. I feel more confident if I'm not pregnant this month. I feel more confident with next month because I'll be on Clomid and progesterone. I'd done the Clomid thing years ago. We went through a bunch of fertility treatments and stuff years ago. It was like about 9-10 years ago, and soon after I miscarried, I keep saying I miscarried 10 years ago, was my first miscarriage, but it's getting closer. February would make 11 years ago. So we started fertility stuff after our first miscarriage, so it would have been about 9 or 10 years ago from now. And we were on Clomid then, and I was taking trigger shots and some other hormone shots. I can't remember what it was. It's been so long ago, but like we was on all kinds of fertility stuff. It was crazy. We did all kinds of stuff. All right, I'm gonna check to see what it says. why it still hasn't adjusted. Yep, there's still a faint line there. Like last month, it was like this last month, and I had faint lines from like 7 DPO to 10 DPO, and then I woke up on 11 DPO, I used my first morning urine, and it was a dark pink line. So yeah, that's definitely a faint line. I know it's not going to pick up on camera, but yeah, it's definitely there. I'm going to do the Walmart cheapie also, and then I think tomorrow, see what it does tomorrow, and I may take a first response. Now I did break down last night, and I used my last pee before I went to bed, which you shouldn't do. And I used a first response, and I think it was negative. I thought I saw a very faint line, but I can't tell for sure. At this point, I probably just have blind eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one and see what it says. I'm wasting tests, I know. I probably have to go get some more. I still have quite a few of the iProven, and I'm not so sure about the iProven brand, so I ordered some more cheapies, and I can't remember what it was called, but I've ordered them before and I liked them, so. Oh, I'm opening up the Walmart one. Throw that stuff away. Here's the test. And one, two, three. And I'm letting that run through. I don't need to be looking at it. I swear there's a line really quick. Alright. Let that run through. I'm still not so sure about this cycle. Trying to conceive is so hard. We've been there and done that years ago with like fertility treatments and stuff, and it causes a lot on your marriage. And we ended up arguing a lot. It was really bad. So this cycle we kind of started arguing again, and having disagreements with stuff, and yeah, so I don't think that we did it on the right days, like I've been doing the last 2 months and been getting pregnant, so that's why I keep saying I'm not sure about this cycle. So the cycle kind of turned out a little different, and I'm just waiting to see what happens and start over again next month if I'm not pregnant this month. But it's just weird. It throws me off when I see those faint lines. Check up that test again, see. Yep, it's there. And I hope it's not like evaporation lines I keep seeing. But they have like a pink tint to them, so I don't think it's evaporation lines. has anybody ever had evaporation lines with the Walmart cheapies? Because it's more like a purple line instead of the pink line, I guess. So the little faint line I see, I can't tell if it's like a gray line or if it's purple. So it's kind of hard to tell when, when purple runs really light, it looks gray. So don't know if that's an evaporation line or what. But I know the internet cheapies, they have evaporation lines a lot. But it doesn't show up on every test. Like I tested later on yesterday, and like with more concentrated urine, and it didn't show up. So I didn't know what I was hearing. All right, I'm gonna check. Oh, it's my cat. Stop that. She's gonna wake up my husband. All right, let's see. And somebody told me, they commented on one of my videos to wait yesterday, I think it was, to wait a while on these because it takes a while to register or whatever. And I did, like I saw like a very faint line, but I wasn't sure. It looked negative yesterday, and so I checked it later on, and it was still like the faint line. So still looks like there's a faint line on this one. Might be a little darker than yesterday's. No, maybe it's about the same. I don't know. It's hard to tell when one's dry and one's wet. But anyways, if there is a faint line on this one, I'm going to wait and see when it dries to compare them to see which one looks darker, if they look the same. Yeah, so they're all kind of faint this morning again. So I will be testing again tomorrow. Once it starts showing up pink enough, I'll try to show you guys. The lighting in my house is really bad, and I use my phone because I don't have a camera. And that's something I want to get, especially if I get pregnant. I want to have a good camera for the baby stuff. And we'll be taking pictures and videotaping the birth if we ever get pregnant and stay pregnant. So I think the progesterone will work. I was talking to a friend of mine. They're going on missions trip not missions trip, they are missionaries, and they're actually moving to Honduras forever to start churches and stuff. And they've been on deputation for 2 years, and I've only seen her maybe a handful of times in the last 2 years, and she was telling me that with her second pregnancy she miscarried, and I knew that, but after that, when she got pregnant 2 other times after that, she with her middle son and her daughter, her youngest, she was on progesterone and to keep her pregnant. So that gave me hope. I never knew that. I didn't really know much about progesterone years ago when I had my first miscarriage, and I'm just learning it this year. And I kind of wish I knew ahead of time. Maybe it would have prevented the miscarriages I've had this year. I don't know. So But I could do the coulda, woulda thing till I'm blue in the face, but it's already over and it's done with. So now I'm starting with progesterone and see if I get pregnant. And my luck is I start my progesterone and I won't get pregnant because that's just how my luck works. So, anyways, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. And we'll see what the internet GP says. And if it gets darker, I might take a first response. See you guys.